I'm a classic man. You can be mean when you look this clean. I'm a classic man. Calling on me like a young OG. I'm a classic man. Your knees get met by the pretty elegant old fashioned man. Yeah, baby, I'm a classic man.
University of Man.
Yeah. Man, what's up, bro?
What's the word, man? What's going on in the world today?
Man, welcome to the University of Man, straight out of the south side of Chicago. It's your man, Fred Abernathy. And way out west, we got Mr.
L. Lewis. Let's get it.
Let's get it, baby.
I call it the West Coast, but it is what it is. Los Angeles is good to me. I'm good to it, too. There it is.
Yeah,
so.
you know, it's all good. Bro, tell me, since you in L.A.,
yes, sir.
How does a guy who only averaged 4 points a game in college get drafted to the NBA?
Name, image, and likeness. This man's name is LeBron James Jr. You got to think about something. People have done this for years. Every president's kid has been able to do what? Get power, do different things. I'd take Bronny James's resume over Hunter Biden. No disrespect.
Well, yeah.
It's been happening for a whole lot of years. You got coaches that bring on their kids. They're on the coaching, you know what I'm saying? And like front office of the owner, the kid is there, and Jerry West's son was there. And so when you have a billionaire flexing his muscles, imagine that. He should be able to play with his son. This has never happened before.
Never happened.
Huh?
But so let me just play devil's advocate.
Sure.
Because you got some people that's like, what about the kid who averaged 12 points a game, who put the work in, was strong in his craft, and he missed out on the NBA because LeBron pulled his son up?
You know what my rebuttal is? What about LeBron James, who you're paying $52 million, and this second round draft pick that you paid $1 million? So it's $53 million that you to make him happy, to keep him in Los Angeles, to bring butts to seats, to be able to say James to James on the alley-oop. Like, that's history.
Absolutely.
The Lakers want to make history. It's only 1 in a 30 shot of you winning a championship. And if you're not winning, you better put some butts in seats. And, you know, odds are they're not going to win, but at least they're going to put some butts in seats to go and see history. So that guy, I apologize. You might have to go to Europe for a couple of years, but Bronny James took his spot. And on top of that, he looked real good at the tryouts during the NBA camp, the draft camp. So,
okay, I'll give you that. But remember football season,
40.5-inch vertical.
But you know, everybody looked good without the pads on. You start putting that defense on them, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, seeing him play with his dad. I just don't know. Are we gonna have a blowout game before we see him on the court together? Or because, bro, if he starts, that's gonna be somebody's gonna be mad.
Well, I'll throw a name out there for you. He went to the G League a couple years ago. His name is Scoot Henderson. And he took over in Portland for a guy by the name of Dame Lillard. This dude is a project at best. He was in the lottery. He was a lottery pick, and he spent half of his year down in the G League. So you telling me that people like this don't happen all the time? It happens. Like, he's got a ceiling. He's got a high ceiling. His IQ is there. He's got the athleticism. He's got a 6'7" wingspan. He's 6'2". Come on. Don't disrespect the man's game. I mean,
hey, we gonna see. We gonna see. Hey, but shouts out to my man from Illinois that got drafted,
Terrence Shannon Jr.
Hey, my man, he averaged 24 points a game. Wasn't that the most in NCAA?
Well, he was third. It was third.
Third. Okay. Third most. But it was higher than Bronny. But I'm just saying, it was third. No, it's all good. From the U of I, we just shout out to the blue and orange, you know. Hey, so we on University of Man. And you know,
Yeah.
we've
Hey,
been
let's stick on him for a second because he had to overcome some obstacles,
oh my
to
God.
say the least.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
he got exonerated literally 3 weeks before, or week and 2.5 weeks before his biggest job interview, which
Yep.
was the NBA. And someone stated that he had done some foul play,
Absolutely.
sexual, whatever the case is, in Kansas when Illinois played Kansas, I think in football. And he had two of the Kansas basketball players come to his aid in court to say that. So long story short, um, what looked bad for him actually became good because everything that came out of it. You know how sometimes you have some things in your closets. He didn't
Woo.
have anything in his closet. As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, it was like a character reference check in like spades. So all the coaches basically said, let's go. That's no problem. And I don't know what the woman's name is that did that, but if something did happen, I'm praying for it. If something didn't happen, I'm still praying for it because she's in a position where she was looking to get a nice piece of money. So he handled himself well.
He did.
The people in leadership in law in Illinois that allowed him to play. He missed 6 games last year due to suspension, and they allowed him to play based off of the things that they had seen. So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to him. Congratulations. He's a part of Clutch Sports. LeBron James gave him a shout out also. Now it's his time to shine. Terrence Shannon Jr. Get it.
Terrence Shannon Jr. Let's go, baby. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, look, still we giving shouts out, so I'm gonna give a shout out to my cousin Calandro Robinson. Yep.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Calandro Robinson. Shout out to Cuzzo. Wrote the book.
Mm-hmm.
Boundaries and Principal Weapons of Engaging Intellectual Conversation.
Nice.
So this chapter right here, I actually love this because I think a lot of us let certain things hold us back. And it says, it's chapter 6. You will never leave where you are until you decide where you rather be.
Say that again, man. You broke up a little bit.
You will never leave where you are until you decide where you rather be. And I look at that, especially for me. I sold cars for 17 years. And let's be realistic. I liked it. I had fun doing it. And as a sales manager, I was told a lot of times, man, you the best manager we got. And I used to be like, man, why do I like working here? I would rather be at work than other places. And it was because those people were speaking my love language. Terms of endearment, words of affirmation. Oh man, I love when you come close my deal. You get an extended service plan, you get the accessory. Man, I love it. Man, if somebody got some stipulations, proof of income, proof of residence, you always make it happen, blah, blah, blah. Man, I love it. That made me, it filled me up. I would have never left that until I made a decision where I'd rather be. And I tell people this, God has given me a certain type of gift where I can see a gift in somebody else and tell them what their gift is and help push them towards it. Like one of my guys, Kiaro, shouts out to him, DJ Hercules. When I had Remember This Video, he used to work cameras with me and we filming weddings. And I'm like, man, imagine if we had the video, the photos, and the DJ. He's like, well, yeah, we got a photographer on staff. Who gonna DJ? I said, you. He's like, what you mean? Like, I said, man, you do the music for dance ministries. Because at the time, he was one of the best praise dancers in the country at Trinity. If y'all know anything about Trinity, they was killing it. Ty Tribbett wanted them to come do a video with them. That's how cold they was. And he was making all the music for it. I'm like, well, you make music for the church all the time. Now you just got to do it live as opposed to doing it behind the scenes. That was 12 years ago. Now he's still killing it on the DJ scene. So I've been able to see stuff in other people and help push them towards that and get it. But I was like, man, why do I keep working for somebody else and not myself? And every month I would be like, you know what? I'm about to go do something for myself. But then I used to be able to switch out cars. So it'd be like, oh, I'm driving a BMW. Yeah, I'm about to go do something else. Oh man, I got to drive a Range Rover. No, I ain't going nowhere. Oh man, I got to go drive a BMW. Man, I ain't going nowhere. And it was like those benefits held me there as opposed to chasing my own dreams. It wasn't until God had to get my attention with all the sickness, turmoil in my family, blah, blah, blah. So I decided that I'd rather be someplace else. And I did that. And you got a rather be someplace else story as well, which we heard about you driving across the country. You rather be someplace else other than Danville. Like you made that decision. But talk to the brothers about being stuck in a situation. And really you stuck there because I believe we're stuck there because we make the decision, the choice to be there until we find something or another place that we rather be. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna take this a different angle because it's been on my head, man. I heard a pastor talk about this, and that's a phenomenal topic. Where would you rather be? Like you're happy where you are until you see something else that you could actually be. And I'm gonna take this health wise. There was a time where I was the healthiest I had ever been. I think I was 4 or 5% body fat and walking around like the Incredible Hulk's kid or something like that. Fred can attest to that. And then, football happened, all that other stuff happened. Lost a little bit of, zest for that. And then all of a sudden, I got this amazing program that I put myself on. And then, got back to where I was. And then all of a sudden, success happened in business a little bit and some other things, and kids and family. And you sort of give yourself to other stuff and you kind of forget about your health. And you get a little bit older, and there's this thing called your metabolism that doesn't necessarily go where you think it's going to go. So, all that wrapped into one, I had to refigure out what Ivory wanted to do and where he needed to be. And, the pastor talked about temptations. And I was like, okay, where are you going with this? He was like, the first temptation was food. Serpent gave the woman an apple, right? From the tree of knowledge. And, then he started talking about fasting. He talked about 40 days and 40 nights and how you're supposed to take care of your body. And, whatever you do, just do it and make sure it's good for you. Like my kryptonite was chips. Oh my gosh. I thought it was like, how you have the food pyramid? Chips was like the base food pyramid for me. I don't know why. And that came back to haunt me because now it's not good for you, man. Like you're supposed to be shopping on the outside versus the inside of the shopping mall or the market. And for me, to be able to take that out of my diet, just to be able to actually eat certain things that are, good for you and satiating. And like, if you didn't know, now you know. And if you do know, go back to it. And then you have these things called cravings. Imagine if God could take the cravings away. That's what's happened. And I'm happy to be in a better place in a different spot. Lost a little bit of weight, feel real good about myself and running around and being able to do stuff like inflammation. Fred, you can talk about this till the hills. Have you ever
Man,
felt some inflammation in your joints where you couldn't move right? You felt like a robot. You got out. You was like, you doing little like the phantom steps. Like I know this supposed to hurt, but I'm gonna do this phantom step anyways. Like that was happening to me. I'm like, man, I ain't never felt like this. So now getting back to where I know I'm supposed to be, getting back to where the the activities gadgeted up. I think that you have to really put yourself in a spot to win. And going back to the book, that goes for anything in life. You have to get yourself back to not just being happy where you are, but the best is yet to come in anything that I've ever done. I used to work for the Los Angeles newspaper group. I wanted to be the publisher. Like wherever I go, I want to be at the number one spot. Fred Abernathy, he always wanted to be the number one guy. He was a Polaris of our fraternity at the chapter. Like he did some crazy stuff and phenomenal stuff all at the same time. Made us more money than we had ever made at the time, and set it up for the people that are actually working with our fraternity. Shout out to Iota Phi Theta. Great job with that. I like that shirt right there. And last but not least, if I'm going to read this, if the size of your vision is not intimidating to you, it's
woo!
probably insulting to God. Dream big, trust and obey.
Rewind. Read that again. Read that again.
If the size of your vision is not intimidating to you, it's probably insulting to God. If it's not intimidating to you, it's insulting to God, because whatever you think you could do on your own, that's cool, but God can do way more. Dream big, trust and obey. Trust and obey. Your body's your temple.
Man.
So that's my take and my little angle.
Well, you know, it takes us back to the 5 F's: faith, family, finances, fitness. So look now, and we're like polar opposites when it comes to this subject, because Ivory has always been top shape. Like, man, I remember when we was pledging, we had to run someplace. Like 3 seconds, they said run. I turned to look, and Ivory was down the block. Like, dude. But that fitness has always been a part. So when he did, for regular people, we would say let himself go. He still was probably stronger than 98% of the people in the country. But when he let himself go like that, he was like, man, bro, I don't feel myself. Like, even the energy level. So I recognized one of my guys came over last night, and he was like, man, bro, you moving around? Like, you gonna go downstairs and open the door? I'm like, yeah, man, like, I got it. You riding your bike again? Like, bro, like, getting your health in order is a big deal. Just like you heard a pastor tell you this, a minister said to me, what if God had such of a big plan for you and he wanted to give you this, but physically you weren't able to do it? He said, think about the plans that he gave Moses. Moses had to go through the wilderness for 40 years. If he wasn't physically fit to handle that journey, could he have taken on that challenge? Jeremiah fought the battle of Jericho to get him in the promised land. If he wasn't physically fit, could he have fought? First of all, they was outnumbered. Outnumbered. David slew a lion, a bear. He had to be physically fit. And the ultimate, and who I kind of think Ivory was born after, Samson. This dude was like, he was like amazingly strong. Now, I'm not the one, like, I never ever want to go work out with Ivory. Never. Like, some people can do it. Some people, you got to stick in your lane. I want to work out the way that I can work out, and so that we can stay friends and he can be my brother. I never say, let's go work out together. Nope, you go do you, bro. I'm going to do me. I'm going to find somebody my speed. But you look at a Samson, not everybody has to be physically like a giant. But you got to be in a good enough health to carry out the task that God has set before you. And if God's given you a task to do, but you're not physically able to carry that through, there are lives that are not going to get touched. There are kids that are not going to get educated, taught. Like, I don't even have to be in LA. I know when little Patrick is on the court, first of all, his son probably shoots better than him. But when he's on the court, dad is out there with him. Like, imagine how different your child's experience would be if you can't be out there moving around with him. I had a boot on my right foot for 3 years, but God still blessed me to be able to coach my daughter's softball team. That was invaluable to me. And our bond is unbreakable because of that. People are like, man, you and your daughters got this crazy, because when you can be out there and just play catch with a kid, but when you physically are unable, part of your life is kind of like diminished. And the physical part is something that we can all control. Yep, we got cravings, we got temptations, all of that. But at the end of the day, you're going to stay where you at until you figure out where you rather be. Would you rather be 80 and competent and be able to walk around and do what you want to do, or 65 in a nursing home? Because you can't. And man, now we talk about the mental aspect of it. After going through everything that I went through, divorce, health, all that, I had to go to therapy, brothers. Therapy. It is okay. Trust me, it is okay. Because I would rather get back to who I know God made me to be than the shell of a man that I had become because of
Mm.
my circumstances and all the things that came along with it. And when I got my mental health right, that helped me get my physical health better. And just being able to heal. Like I had a doctor's appointment today. Everybody know I got the kidneys working well. If y'all haven't noticed, like my skin is clearing up, I got a little glow, more energy. But the people was like, man, do you have any pain? Nope. Do you have it? Nope. You feeling good? Yeah. Like, man, your numbers are great. Creatinine level is low. Like, and I'm just like, that's all God.
Yeah.
But now when mentally, your mental helps your physical body heal better. If you in a good mental state, like I was so mentally good doing that surgery, the very next day I was up working. I had my laptop out doing quotes. Doctor like came in like, man, are you working? Yeah. Do you need a quote? You need some insurance? Like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. But how? So for the brothers out there that feels like you stuck, how do you make that determination that you rather be someplace else, whether it's a job, whether it's health wise, whether it's mental wise, whether it's emotional wise, and whether it's a toxic relationship? How do you make that conscious decision that it's time to move?
The fruits. If the fruits aren't what you want, if the firm or the business or the job that you're having isn't giving you enough money, if the relationship isn't doing enough for you, whatever the case is, first thing that you have to do is do what's called an introspective look at you and what you can do better, and then get into a
Oh, in layman's term, that means look in the mirror.
yeah,
Because
and
that was a big word.
yeah, and you have to do a personal development program. You've got to be reading books. You've got to get around mentors. You've got to be in a place to actually, like this. It was put to me like this: personal development, personal growth. It's just like taking a shower. What you did 2 weeks ago don't matter. You got to do it today because you stank. Because whatever you've been talking about is what you've been reading, is what you've been listening to. And you can tell when somebody's got mentorship because they have a fresh, new personality, vibrant, and they don't have to be alive. They could be dead. It could be Abraham Lincoln. It could be Elon Musk. It could be whoever it is. But I want to get back to the basics. The best, book that I've ever seen in my life, the author is God, and you got to get into their Bible. And you can tell when somebody's been reading the Bible and they can actually really talk to you about that manna. Like, we've been talking a lot about food, but let's talk about what's the real food, that food that gets down into your soul. And you talk about a glow. Fred's got extra glow. He's feeling good, looking good, talking great because he's doing that. And I hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll start doing some challenges and putting some stuff out there about books of the Bible.
Man, when you say reading books and personal development, like getting people to invest in themselves. For the longest time, I was like, man, why do I need to go to a conference? I'm not about to pay to go to no and typically when you see self-development conferences, until recently, it was dominated by females. Conferences were dominated by females. They would invest in themselves, invest in their personal growth, and guys be sitting on the sideline like, man, I'm not about to pay $150 to go hear nobody speak. But now when you start looking at the ETs of the world, the Ed Miles of the world that are doing personal development, and you can be in a room with other like-minded individuals they got fresh ideas that are working in North Dakota that now you can implement in Detroit, that's working in LA that now you can implement in Chicago. Like those fresh ideas and that energy, like that energy gets you pumped up. You ever been to a conference and you walk out like feeling like, oh, I can take on the world now. Let's go. That's what it do.
Yeah.
And when you see that and you can invest in yourself, like a lot of times people are like, okay, I need to find something to invest in. the greatest investment. There's only a few things that I can guarantee you're going to get an ROI. And yourself is going to be the one that I'm saying, if you invest in yourself, you're guaranteed to get an ROI. For y'all who don't, that's a return on your investment. So whatever you invest in yourself, you're going to get a return on that because it's going to pay off. You spend $400 self-development, that's going to help you make $40,000 to $50,000, but from that 400, because you develop your mind, you develop your skill set, you develop a discipline to do health, fitness, business, whatever it is, invest in yourself. Because you rather be someplace else. When I seen that, I was like, man, where would we rather be? And so now I got the question for you, Ivory, because you've moved into the realm of the financial service world. Wait, this 20 plus years for you, right?
20th year, yes, sir.
20 years. Hey, cool. Big ups to that, baby. 20 years, not just financial service world, working for yourself.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, but
it's
you got off the plantation.
Yeah.
So
15 years ago.
15 years you got off the plantation. You control your own time. You control when and how much you work. The effort that you put in, you probably work harder for yourself than you worked for. You said you worked for the LA News Group, right?
Los Angeles Newspaper Group. Yep.
Do you feel like you worked more for the newspaper group or more for yourself?
If they ever hear this, I apologize. But as I was working with and for them, I was working with and for myself because I knew that this was a seed to my greatness. I would give them just enough to be able to not get fired. And obviously they were paying me just enough not to leave. And every other inch that I could get to where I am today, I was putting in and putting forth my personal investment, which was me. So, yes.
So the ROI on that. And here's one of the things that, especially for our young brothers that out there that may be listening, they told us wrong in our generation. They like, man, for your 20s, you're supposed to be kicking it, having a good time, living life. No, in your 20s, you have no real responsibility. You got the most energy you're going to ever have. You got time to work as much and as hard as you want to. So when you get to your 30s and 40s, now you can really, like, the kicking it that you're doing in your 20s compared to the type of kicking that you can do in your 40s. Because, you can go to a party, you can stay out all night, blah, blah, but go hop on a jet to go to a different city just to have lunch with your girl. Do that in your 20s and tell me which one is the one you really want to do. Like, sweating it out in the club, buying $20 drinks for somebody in hopes that you get to go home tonight. Yeah, it's got its place, but when you got a queen that you can hop on a jet and go, yeah, that's real fun. That's a different ball game. We gotta show our young men like that period of time is the time that you put that work in and that investment in. Like that puts you in a different place than where you are. And we ain't got to be stuck in the neighborhood. Not that, and when I say stuck in the neighborhood, just on the block. You could be stuck in a neighborhood where you own the block, but don't just be on the block. Like we still sitting on the same porch we sat on when we were shorties, because this is what we know. These are guys. We talked about little Nug who was locked up for 20 years. We can't wait for him to come home. That's cool. It's Nug, come home. But when you come home, Nug, hey, you remember that building we used to sit on? I own that. You remember that? Remember that store over there? Yep, I own that too. So matter of fact, I can get you a job, Nug. I'm gonna let you be the manager of the store. And matter of fact, you can rent one of my apartments. Do that. Like, be someplace different in your community. Be someplace different in your environment. And I promise you, but we got to have that mindset. So I always wanted to know, like, what clicks in your brain? Because, like, dude, I remember you did like it was a keto diet where you was just eating meat and vegetables, and like I remember that you was like, man, you could do this, the very first meal. And he got me with this. He said the very first meal is breakfast. I'm like, okay. He said, no, you make bacon and you make the eggs in bacon grease. I'm like, that's fat, dude. I
Yeah,
can do that.
yeah.
I can do that. But like, what triggers in your brain that says, okay, because when you set out to do something, your willpower is like crazy. I remember you ate tuna and rice for a whole summer.
Yeah, tuna and hot sauce, and
Tuna, yeah, oh my bro.
that's when I was, yeah. But you know, I come from humble beginnings, and my mother did a phenomenal job. And you know, sometimes my wife and I we have issues because she eats for taste, I eat to just make life. Like, and sometimes I can force myself to think that this tuna is the greatest thing in the world. I will literally eat it out of a can, like just with a fork and some hot sauce and call it a day. And you know, just tapping into that. I think it comes from a variety of different things, but one of the things I think is sports. I heard Tom Brady talk about this. He said, "I hope everybody plays football because it's hard." And there's so many people and look for the easy way out. Sometimes you got to take the hard way, and it makes you do something that's different. And like you might get hit in the, you might get hurt. Okay, what are you gonna do once you get hurt? Are you just gonna stop, or are you gonna continue to play? So I've just learned to play while hurt in life and make sure that my drive was there. And I'm still that little kid that wanted to play football when my mother wouldn't let me until my freshman year when I forged her name. And you know, I remember seeing all the little guys playing tykes and like they had their full uniform on. I'm out there right before they went to practice, hitting them with no uniform, knocking, laying people out. And they're like, "Man, you need to play." I was like, "My mother won't let me." So I'm just the eagerness to do something special, and then knowing that I want to live until I'm 120. So if I'm going to live until 120, I better be around for those Jordan brand knee replacements that come out in 2052. So like, uh, imagine a dude that's 78 years old out there still dunking. Like the best is yet to come for me, and that's my motto. That's always been my motto. And whatever I do, whatever I put my name on, and you know, whether it be my health, whether it be getting my 8-pack back, you know, all that different stuff, it's going to happen. It's just, will you actually take the time out to do it? And the brain fog, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but there's a brain fog where, you know, if you're eating the wrong stuff too often, you start forgetting things. And I just feel so much better when I'm eating right. And you know, keto has actually evolved to carnivore. So I'm a carnivore right now. So I eat bacon, butter, eggs, and meats.
Bacon, butter.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
so
That,
what does
that's
that do to your cholesterol?
well, you know what's funny? Cholesterol is something that's your number one guard against all. Like, you had bad eyesight or something like that. The first day I was on it, my eyes just started like, you know, you could feel your body healing itself. My eyesight got better. I'm not saying this and like be hooji woo, like it got better. I really felt a lot better. So if you look up cholesterol, it takes things to the farthest parts of your body, like your fingers, your nose, your eyes. I don't know. Sometimes we have to really look at what our
See, wait, wait,
food.
wait. So you saying having a higher cholesterol has helped you
Absolutely.
see better?
Yes,
But why is Western medicine telling us that high
brother.
cholesterol is bad?
Brother Weston. Let me refrain from saying something that's bad, but I'll just state that if you look at the the food pyramid, half that stuff wasn't even supposed to be on there, man.
Right,
They
right,
just did
right.
that so they could actually put more people into a place where they eat a whole bunch of carbohydrates. And carbohydrates, they like if you know anybody that's on insulin or whatever, like
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the biggest. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to look at, do they want you to get healthy or do they want you to take a pill? Because if
Because
they didn't want you to take a pill, they would teach you how to eat right. And why is it that all the stuff that's man made, having 7 essential or 8 essential things that make you feel good about eating it, but you're still hungry when it's done, right? How do you eat a Happy Meal? You could put a Happy Meal, whatever, a burger, and you could put it up for like a year and a half, 2 years, and you come back and looks the same. Like there's a lot that's going on And if you actually do certain things correctly, man, you're gifted. So I'm done.
Well, there it is. Like, you got to have that mindset so you can leave where you are and get to where you rather be. And I think as men, sometimes we get into the rut of every day and what they call the what's that, the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Where we just going around and around, and we really don't want to be here. And I'm not saying you don't want to be at your home, but you won't want to be in the state that you're in. You got to make the decision mentally that you rather be someplace else, and then start making the steps to get there. Last thing I'll say, and one of my guys told me, Denzel Washington said, there's a difference between movement and progress. And you're like, man, you could run in place. That's a whole lot of movement, but you ain't going nowhere. We got to make progress. So in that, make the progress to be where you rather be. Take the steps to get to where you rather be. If that, man, is that a new house? Is that a building? Is that better health? Is that a more cohesive family? We got to make the steps and make progress.
I got to say something about that. God found all of his disciples in movement, and then he actually got them into progress. So don't get frustrated. You still got to move. You still got to move.
Yes, sir.
To be able to get to some type of progress. And they had some of them were moving backwards, as a matter of fact, killing people, shucking and jiving people with their taxes. Like, it was a lot of like shicey stuff going on. But God said, let that be light. Let's go and make this happen for you. Come on over here. Follow my son, Jesus. Right. So you don't have to be in a place where you got it right. You figured everything out. Just open it up, read it. I think that for me, once I got into a place where I was reading my Bible on a daily basis and actually really thinking about it on a daily basis about what it can do for me today and also what it can do for other people, my life got better. So, man, let's go ahead and end it out. My name is Ivory L. Lewis. My man over here, Fred Abernathy, is doing his thing. I'm so proud of you, man. If I never tell you again, I love you. I appreciate you. I know that you're going to go ahead and win in life. And,
hey, that's my man, $100 grand. Let's go.
I'm a classic man. You can be mean when you look this clean. I'm a classic man.
Ain't nothing like it. This song is bomb. Shout out to my man DJ
Shout out to
Hurt.
DJ Hurt.
That is right.
Yeah, baby, I'm a classic man.
University of